Yes, 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 yes. Okay, this is good. Um, hmm. Let me just. Okay, it's actually showing it. That's nice. So the nice thing about that is I can just quickly share that on the Slack. Content made simple. Okay, there we go. Right. Let's double check that. Now then, this is kind of weird because I think I've started the stream and now I want to change the scene. So if you share the screen, it should be like the video capture should be of all of this thing. I might have to dick around a little bit to make it better, but we'll see. Okay. Just get this like this. Okay, that's good. Yeah, but I saw blah 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 earlier on, by the way. So yeah, no, it's fine. It's good, and all the caching is off. Yeah, you're all good. Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, I think we should just go live. Yeah. I'll just we'll just see how this works. All right. Think. Think we're good. Maybe we're not. Hold on. Sorry about this, folks. Just 1 second. Okay, you can start talking, Eric, while I'm messing around with this lot.
Okay. Are we sort of live and stuff?
Yeah, 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 we are. We are.
We are live and stuff.
We are live
Okay,
and
so
stuff. Yeah.
our plan today was to have the real big debate about how to implement the tests. But then I came down with what is known as a what was it? A boutique flu?
Yeah.
Or
Very.
no, sorry, a boutique cold was it? Not the common cold, but a boutique one.
Yeah. Very. Yeah. Bespoke.
So yeah, bespoke cold. So I'm sort of a little bit weak on energy, so I can't sort of debate Ray today. So we'll have to wait with the testing story till next time. But there's still some stuff that we need to make this like the first, like, there's still some gaps in what we've made, right? We still can't upload videos.
Yeah. We're not through the UI anyway.
We're not through with the UI quite. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We can cheat, but we can't quite do it for reals. Yeah.
Yeah. So I figured to being able to upload a video would be nice. And then there's a couple of, or just one real cleanup that I would like to do before we get into that. But one thing that we don't have to debate that hard, Ray, is that I don't think you either are very fond of middlewares. Is that right?
Um, yeah. The problem for me with middlewares is that there's a sort of chain that has got some ordering implied with it that is not super great. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm a bit down on it on middlewares in general. I think interceptor frameworks are a bit better, and just generally using function composition is a bit nicer. I mean,
Yeah.
I like the kind of sugar that you get from Ring with the threading, but I think it's maybe the price is a bit too high if you just want
Yeah,
a
and
specific thing.
yeah, and I personally I find that in most of the projects that I've worked on, the middleware stack is very static, so it's not like you're switching middlewares in and out a lot. So for that, I actually would prefer, I think, to not have that much middleware and rather call these functions that are ultimately called in the middleware when they need to be called, and seeing this logic up front rather than hiding it behind like you say, a chain of middlewares where it's somewhat hard to see what goes before whatever. And because if you thread them, you have to read them from bottom up, and it's just different.
Yes, yes.
The reason I'm bringing this up is that we're going to be using another piece of Ring functionality today, which is handling multi-part uploads
Mm.
or multi-part forms, because we're uploading files. And Ring comes with a middleware for that. And it's kind of interesting because you have the middleware. Basically, middleware is a higher order function. It's a function that returns a new function, which is your new
Right.
handler, which is wrapped in something.
Mm. Yeah.
But it, but there is, at the end of the day, there is a function that actually does exactly what we need. It takes a request and it gives you the multi-part parameters. So if you want to avoid the middleware, you could just say, I have a request, now you give me the multi-part params.
Right.
And this actually exists. This very function exists in Ring, but it's private. And one of the things that's really nice about being in the Clojure community is that it's such a tight-knit community and people are on the Clojurian Slack. So I reached out to Weavejester and asked like, why is this function not public?
Mm.
Because
Mm.
it makes sense to me because that's sort of the smallest, simplest building blocks here. And he said it was basically because he's providing a public API, or he's providing an API that he intends to support like forever. So he's very concerned with making that API too big. But
Right.
he did encourage me to go ahead and create an issue for this, which I then did. So making that one function public, as it were.
Okay, that's good.
That's nice.
Yeah, that is nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just before we get started, we've had a little bit of feedback,
Yeah.
and one thing that people would like is just the font to be a little bit bigger. So if you could just notch it up one size on the Emacs, it would be good.
I will try to do that. There is a key binding for this, of course, and I'll try to execute it.
Yeah. Otherwise, oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Be quiet, you. Somewhere around there,
Just one
perhaps?
smaller. Well, maybe it's because obviously you're going off the edge now, but
Yeah, I'll go one smaller then.
yeah.
Boink. There.
Mm, maybe it's one bigger and go to the right a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I can try to pull this one to there and then this one to here, and I don't use the tiling manager. Hmm. Now
Okay.
everything got, hang on. We can go even a bit wider here.
There we go. I
That
think
should
that's
be.
fine. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
good. Yeah, yeah.
good.
Lovely. Okay, on with the
Is that the
work.
only feed? Everything else is stellar?
Well, I think some of the sound was not great, and I'm sure there's various other bits and pieces that aren't working
Mm.
perfectly. But that's the thing. I think I think there's some stuff that I still want to mess around with in terms of playing. But yeah, I mean it's all right.
Mm. Good. So the first thing I want to do is I want to just before we get started is I want to move this render thing out of these hiccup functions so that um, we can look at like we can these functions just do hiccup. So if we want to do hiccup and render it in some other way, we can do that. It's not a huge deal, but basically what we'll do is like this. So that was show content and that one. And then we also render list content.
All right.
Yeah. Because then these become like just pure pure data things that
Sure.
we can compose and play with and not stringy things
Hmm.
and not responsive things.
Mhm.
Um, so I guess the next logical thing then would be to write a hiccupy thing that could render us an upload form.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
It makes sense?
yeah.
Yeah. Something like this. And so it's going to be a post. And let's just say that we anticipate a place to handle this. This will be, we have to write something to handle this in a while.
Sure, sure.
Uh,
Yeah,
and then the hard bit about uploading files is getting this thing right.
yeah, definitely.
Because without that magical incantation, this won't work.
Mm.
And yeah, so we have this. And then we
Just
have,
one small
yeah,
thing, Eric. I know you, as you type along, is that I think the phrasing show dash form is. I think it would be better if it was just upload form and less. So it was just the name of a thing, you know, the upload form,
yep,
rather than like a verb that says show this or whatever. You know.
totally agree. And like there's a couple of things in life that are hard. Um, and in computer science, it's naming things and cache invalidation, right?
Off by one errors as well. Those are the two things that are wrong.
Yep, yep.
We're bringing out the old bangers.
We can do that. We're good at that. Oh, so we got this one. Meh. And we got, let's have the title as well. Like that. And another BR because I suck at making things pretty. Um,
It's
and then
BR for brutal, isn't it? That's the interface we're going for.
it is brutal, yes. So that's that one. And where do you want to put this? What should we call it?
Yeah, well, form upload, yeah.
Uh,
Content upload, let's call it.
I just want to turn off Copilot
Hmm.
because it cheats. What did you say?
Um,
Upload form?
Upload.
Yep. I wanted, let's see here. Yeah. Okay,
Oh,
upload.
upload content, yeah.
Now this has to be the form, right? Because
Oh,
we
yeah,
have to
yeah,
make one.
okay. Oh, yeah,
We
okay,
have to make
okay.
one for the form, and
Yes, yes,
then
yes, yes.
uh, did I evaluate this one?
Is that a def or a deafen? You're passing things in, no?
No, it is a defen, and you're bringing up one of my favorites. So
Hit it.
a function that takes no arguments. What we know something about that.
Yeah, it could just be data, you know?
Yeah, it's either it's a constant or it's side effecting.
Yeah, yeah. But this
And in this
is just
case, it
giving
is
you
a
actual
constant.
data.
So it could have been it could definitely have been just a def.
Is it because you want to change it to be not a def in the future? Why don't you just do that now?
Okay. Yeah, I agree. So if we go here and we go, yay.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah. So definitely another way to make it bigger.
but we can add a title here and we can choose a file. We get the file thing and things are good.
Great. It works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was as easy as writing a bit of HTML, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was super easy. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
content made simple, remember, folks.
Yes.
We
So
have to keep calling it, brand recognition, brand building, Eric. We were talking about that before. We have to
yeah,
do marketing. It's
yeah.
content made simple. We have to use that at least once in the show. Every time.
So the next thing that we have is this we like if we choose a file now and we submit this we need one more thing. Um we need a submit button as well.
Good call. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise it's kind of hard to
But I know this is a sort of this is a bike shed tastic, yeah. But I hate the word submit because it feels like that's kind of like a wrestling term, that like you're on the floor and
yeah.
someone's got you in a hold, so now you submit. It seems to me like submit is like absolute junk. It's like upload. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
But it's not uh that's not how you do it apparently.
Mm.
I don't remember how to change the name of a submit button.
Wow. Well, take a
That's
minute. Take a
it's
minute and look it up. Come on. No, I'm kidding. We can do that. We can do that offline. It's fine.
we can do that offline.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Yeah, so what we need now is something to handle this one, right?
Hmm.
And that would be handle upload.
I think you've got like you got to do the URI first, and then the other side is up handle upload.
This is something that I do all the time in cons.
Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, that's the idea of pair programming is for me to be annoying and tell you this kind of stuff, you know?
Yes. Let's do something like this.
Great. Yeah.
Um, and this is going to be a little bit more involved, and I don't have this totally straight, so you might have to bear with me as it's known.
It's okay. You know,
Mm.
it's content made simple, not easy, you know? And it's not made for for we're allowed to flail on the screen.
Yep. So the first thing that we could actually do, because we're at the REPL and stuff,
You just see what it gives us. Yeah.
this is like the first and simplest way of doing debugging, I would argue.
Why does it give you an error on closure preprint? Is it because you have to require it or something?
Yeah, I should. It's CLJ Condo that's telling me, I think, that I should require this.
Okay.
So if I choose a file, let's take a smaller one.
Oh yeah.
Um, Meep.
The response map is nil. Wow.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine because
It's
the only
expected, of
thing
course. Yeah. Yeah.
we're just yeah. But this is what it looks like. So the body here is blah 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 Jetty server something something.
Mm-hmm. Some input.
Uh, and there is a multi-part blah blah stuff, and this is where that ring function is going to help us quite a bit.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, so let's have a look at the one that we want to use. So what I want to do is I think we can do, yeah, we can do like this, and then this is
Are you saying, by the way, that just so I understand, are you
yeah.
saying that this is a private method,
No,
but
not this one.
oh, it's
Not
another
this
one.
one.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll get to what the difference is.
Oh, you're gonna add the middleware. Okay.
No, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna add
Oh,
the
you're calling the
middleware.
middleware function. Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
You're not going to wrap the middleware. You're just going to call it
I'm
directly.
just gonna call the lowest sort of
The lowest high level function.
yeah, that is
Yeah.
public to us.
Yeah.
Good. Ah, let's try params. No, multi-part params. Yeah, there we go. And we put that one in there, and then we can go here, here, clear that one, and we can reload and send this again. And now you see that we have this nice little multi-part params in our request.
Right. 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 And it gives us the
Um,
file and the size and all this kind of stuff.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why, like, the reason why I opened this this issue with Ring is that I don't need so this one adds some stuff to my request,
Hmm.
whereas the private function that's underlying it it just gives you this map here.
Oh, I see. Okay. So
Yeah,
in this case, you'll just select that key.
we yeah we can say like this,
Hmm.
right?
Sure. Yeah.
And now we know exactly um, what's what we need.
Hmm.
Because now we have the file and we have the title, and that's basically what we need. What's also interesting is that you're somewhere on the line they calculate also the content type of this.
That's nice. That's nice.
That's very nice for us.
Yeah. Yeah. That is really good. And that's kind of, I guess that's all to do with the probably the extension. I guess they just deduce it from that, some MIME type lookup. But what's interesting is you've got the temp file as well, because I guess that it's kind of it's brought it over and put it somewhere.
Yep.
So we actually have the content as well.
Yes.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah.
So I was just about to sort of go on and, how great isn't REPL-driven development? We can sit here and just try this out step by step.
Sure.
Um, and it is quite great, but I'm also wondering, like, if you were in a truly beautiful typed world, you wouldn't have to wonder about these things, right? Because you would just see from the type signatures what you got out of this stuff.
Um, yeah, but I think the thing about I mean, of course, I mean, you're right. If you have like all the types done, then you're kind of finished. I mean, there's a whole debate about whether types are ever correct. You know, like this whole idea of whether types are ever finished, and I'm bearish on that, to be honest.
Yep.
Which I think is like the general Clauseurian view, isn't it? But I think also the problem is to some extent that when you're dealing with things over the internet, some of these things aren't always super obvious. You know, it's very difficult to type all of the inputs. APIs are very classic for that. So exploring these kind of things is typically what we want to do, isn't it, with the web? You know,
Yep.
at the beginning at least. So I've got no, I've got no shame. That's for sure. I've got no problems with going like this.
No,
Um,
not at all. And
I don't
I
think we
really
need
appreciate
to.
it.
Yeah, I don't. I'd like someone in the typed world to come on and say why they think it would be better to some extent, but I don't know. It seems like
Mm.
the big, the big, the big players in the web are not typed. You know, so the big players in the web these days were PHP and Hack, I guess now, and then Node.js.
Yep.
Now, you could argue that Node.js is becoming more typed with TypeScript, but you know, it got popular through not being typed, or it got
Yep.
popular despite not being typed. Let's say, so you know,
Hmm.
I went on a little
Cool.
side rant there. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Now, what's really nice is that just above here, we actually see the data that we want to get out of this,
Yes.
right? So we want to take whatever is here and we want to transform it into something like that.
Yes.
There's one more thing that we need to do. I'll get back to that, but um, so content type that is get in. Um, multi-part params and file content type, right?
Is that the way of doing it? I mean, I would have thought that you would just like get the file stuff, you know?
Yeah, could do that. Yeah, that's probably better. And this is because,
Then you've already got the keys. You can destructure it directly on the file, you know?
yeah,
In fact, in this case,
uh,
you don't even need to destructure it because it's just select keys, isn't it?
it is, dude. Um, okay. So we need content type and file name. But there's a catch because
Yes.
we need to copy this file to somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, if we use the temp file, that could work, but then it would disappear when we reboot the machine.
Yes. Or even before, if we have a TMP watch, which I guess we should have on a machine like this.
Yeah, but we don't. So I think we can get away with
No.
it for the moment. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the only problem
Um,
with it is that slash we don't serve from slash TMP. That's the biggest
no.
problem, I think.
I want to do this differently.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So I want to say content type. That's and then we have the title is title of multi-part params. And we don't have an ID yet. This is something that we're going to have to get back to,
Okay.
right? We have a database, so we could take the next one of that.
For the moment, we could do that, or
For
we
the
could
moment,
just
yes,
assign a random
we
number.
have.
Or
Yep.
anyway,
Um,
I have opinions about that, but we can save that for another day.
yes. Um, so ID that would be our database. And so we take that one and we can map ID over it.
Okay.
Let's and then we can apply max. So we find the biggest one,
Mm-hmm.
and then we ink that.
Can't we just put the ink at the end?
We could because ink only takes one param and like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think that it would be nice to do like this because
Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah.
um, because the thing that we need now, I guess, is that we need a destination. And this is going to be scary.
Okay.
Um,
Whoa, we're
because
gonna go out to the thing. Wow.
I
Get
know
cocky.
public content dash ID
Okay.
dot. And here we sort of lose No, we actually have the file name here, so we could actually use that. That's fine. That's perfect, I guess, for now. I'm not
Sure.
really happy with, so from a security perspective, I'm not really happy using the file name that we get from the client.
Why don't we just do what you were doing and we'll just
We could do that. Yep.
you can just append the. I mean, if you want to get fancy, you could just destructure the file name, split it on dot, take the last.
Yeah, we can do that for now.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I'm
again,
just
this is,
thinking we can just do something now and then we can get fancier later. And
yeah,
I
but
guess
we
we
can
could probably
actually
use
just do like
the
this. We don't need, I don't think we need
content. Yeah.
the end.
Yeah. Okay. We've got the content type already, so we're all good. Yeah.
Yeah. So the destination, that will be the file name here is
Mm-hmm.
the reason I'm doing this in very small is that I'm not super confident with working with Java stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
And the thing that we're going to need now is to use Clojure Java IO copy.
Mm-hmm.
That's where all this sort of leads up to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it basically takes a whatever and almost a whatever, and then copies one of them to the other.
Mm-hmm. File one to
So,
file two. Yeah.
yep. We got that one, and we can stick that here, and we can say IO copy. And we have the TMP file of our file thing, and then our destination.
I think it's temp file, by the way.
It actually is. And that's what this does.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm not very confident now. And we're not really sort of returning any, like we're not adding this to the database yet.
No, but I guess we could just return a status 200. Okay, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, or what we also could do is that we could actually swap this onto the database now.
Do we want to just do a little test to make sure it all works first before we commit it to the database?
Yep.
It would be nice to sort of to see the result of IO copy because I'm guessing that will return the thing.
Let's
And also,
see.
it says you should do with open, but because you want to close the destination file.
Yeah, I'm curious about that, and I want to sort of faff around with that a little bit offline.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So it ran and it returned yay. So it would be interesting now to see if this file actually is where it is, right?
Mm.
And I have my shell here and resources, public, and we have a content 3.
Very nice.
And it's
It's
PNG
the
image
PNG
data.
that we wanted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
And I think even if we go ls minus 8, or no, let's just ls minus l. It is 22059, which is quite close to what our multi-part params said.
It's quite close, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Yeah, like you say, more work to be like battle tested, but so why wouldn't you go with open on the IO copy?
Let's just do that.
The reason is that if it's a slightly bigger file, it might be handy. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Oh, wait.
Meh,
Oh,
what happened?
don't know. Your buffer went a bit bonkers.
Yep, there. And then we slurp this one there and that. And I wanted that to be path. Right, that's why I pulled the path out.
Yes.
So are we ready now to
Let's see what's in that that map itself is also interesting to print, isn't it? Because at the
this
moment it's
one?
just like that map with content and title. It's just floating around, isn't it? We've got the one
This one.
from that one. That's just a kind of like a map that we don't see what's in there. I mean, for instance, the content type might be dereferenced badly, or the title might be dereferenced
Right.
badly, or whatever. So it would be quite nice to, just print it out in the in that map. You have to give it a name, I guess.
Copy it.
Wow. Okay. Do you really want to do that? But fine.
No, I didn't really want to do that, obviously. There is no close on a Java file.
Wow, that is absolute bullshit.
Yeah. So then I'll
I don't believe that.
title is nil. Ah, and I see why.
Right. There we go. Oh, hang on. No, not quite there yet.
Hmm?
Why isn't it loading
So it is on the same. No, it's in the. It's in the file. Interesting. No?
Yeah. No, it's
No, it
same level as
isn't.
file.
Big.
It's the same level as file.
So that's file. What am I not? Haha, I know why.
You didn't reevaluate it, maybe? Okay, you didn't copy it. Yeah.
So you were right. I should have.
Yeah, it's always a dangerous thing to do it this way, I think. But
Yeah,
okay.
there you go.
All right.
Are we happy then?
That seems good, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So should we transact this to the database?
Let's transact it in. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. DB conj
This guy.
schmuck. And then we can do
Interesting.
ooh, what did we do wrong now?
Maybe you have to render it.
This is interesting. What am I not seeing here, right? So we have two things in our database. We don't have, um,
Let's have a quick look at list content to see what it does.
because that just does this.
So if you go to the main web page now, just by itself, it is there.
Yeah, because now we have.
It might just be that it's not navigating to the right page.
So we should have a redirect or something.
I think that's normally what happens with these things, isn't it? Where
Yeah.
maybe it's even the thing that you can do with that thing where you do a post redirect. That's a very common.
Yes. Yep. Let's because we have
It's a
that
common
thing.
trick. It's just everything. Unless you've got a SPA, that's what you do.
Yes. Could it be that simple?
Slash. Yeah.
Yes.
Boom.
It was that simple. Yeah. But this is also interesting. Because of course,
our thing is not finished. The handler, it doesn't find the thing.
Yeah, doesn't find the third one.
Yeah, because we're not.
So I guess this
we're not
is
looking it up by ID, are we anymore? Well, that's what we could do, isn't it? Just look it up by ID.
Yeah, but we've been on for 45.
Yeah.
So let's just make it so that
we can at least show
we understand. This shit just doesn't scale, right?
No, of course it doesn't.
No. And that's
2.
What's that? Call and 3?
2.
2. Yeah, of course. Because now we're getting into the second hardest part the second hardest thing in computer science.
Problem. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't you still have to show content though?
Okay.
Like you've got render, but then you haven't got show content before that.
What did I do? Let's just get rid of these again. I said that I thought Paredit is the greatest thing it's the best superpower of Clojure. But I think I was parediting a bit too much here, and then
You're
2
stochastic paredit, yeah.
And then 2, and then that doesn't play because it was an image, so that's fine. I can live with that.
Why is it trying to play though? Because it's a video tag. Yeah.
Yes.
Because we're not adapting the form yet. But when we upload this show, it will play. Yeah.
Yes. It will play.
It won't actually, because if we use this form to do it, our database is like set to ID 4 now. So we're kind of.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to. This is also good. It's going to be an interesting discussion further on as well, right? Do we allow for editing of content, or is the content that we upload immutable and that it's always there, and content number 3 will always be image PNG?
To be discussed. I mean, I think
yes.
I think we should have a form, or we should have some output that definitely renders the correct thing. I don't see how we can not do that.
Nope.
I think users will want to delete their data, and I don't see there being a problem with that.
No.
In fact, the GDPR requires it, and
Yep.
I think any sane people, if somebody wanted to remove a bit of content from our site, we shouldn't. We should facilitate that. They
Yeah.
could have made a mistake or whatever. Yeah. So
But I mean, that's just a matter of making this one a little bit more
yeah, a bit more responsive.
elaborate. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can just have a little. You
If
can just have a
test.
little cond on the types, can't you, and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and
Yeah.
have a different content that you're showing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually this is all going to get quite like component styly as we make the page a bit more complicated with different bits and pieces. But we're going brutal at the moment, so yeah, bare ass minimum all the way.
Yes. Yeah. Should we wrap it up there?
Sounds good. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds good. Yeah. So yeah, I think for next time I think one of the things that we're kind of like hitting for next time, or we'd like to hit for next time, is how to make sure that we're doing this right, because as our functions are going to get a bit bigger, we've already seen in this episode that, you can think you're doing the right thing in the code, but of course you find out that you're giving back the wrong data, or it's empty, or it's nil, or it's just the wrong. You can't really tell if it's the wrong string. It's very tricky to tell, but you can definitely tell if it's nil or not.
Yep.
So there are sort of basic things that we could test for, and then maybe we should discuss how to do that, because I know we've got various opinions on how we should test for this thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No,
let's wrap
'cause
it up there, and
yeah.
go on. Sorry, you want to make some final points?
No, I was just going to say that it becomes sort of it's starting to get to the point where there's too much clicky through to ensure that everything works all the time. So it's really nice to get the tests going.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll get some quality going at least, anyway.
Yes.
All right. So, according to me, we should flip over to our little ending stream part now. Stream is ending. And just so that we're using all the technology, and, that's it from us for this week. We're just a little bit of housekeeping that we will be back a week on Sunday. We'll let you know in the Slack about that. But this weekend we're busy, so doing various things. We're not busy together, unfortunately. Maybe it's one weekend we will be, Eric, but we're busy severally this time. And so we'll see you next time on the Content Made Simple.